they are supposed to be concave to the origin. So, somebody drawing the skill, which not everybody has, and I'm one of them. This issue of drawing, but they are supposed to be neatly drawn, nicely drawn. Okay? Now, what are we saying by a budget constraint? So, supposing your income can only allow you to buy 15 fruits based on the price in the market. Your budget can only allow you to buy 15. So, you may actually not be there. You may not be able to have this happiness line, and you may not be able to be on this happiness line, any of these lines except this one, because your budget can allow you to buy 15. But the problem is, you always want to maximize your happiness. So you would not like to be here because you can afford 15. This happiness line is beyond your means. So you can't reach there. But this one is inferior because you can afford 15. Okay? So let's say 15 is somewhere here. You can either buy 15 apples and 0 oranges, or you can buy 15 oranges and 0 apples, or you can choose a combination. So you have a line, a straight line, which this is not straight. I need a ruler. But what I'm trying to do here is draw a straight line. Mava? Don't mind, but it's a straight line. So it's either you have 15 oranges and 0 apples, or you have 15 apples and 0 oranges. Because when you are here, you are buying 15, and your budget can only allow 15. So this is a budget line. Okay? Now this one is inferior because it is below your budget line. Choosing this happiness line or satisfaction line or utility line is a poor choice. And the consumer will not do that. It's an inferior choice. So what you will do, you will find a choice that touches your budget line. A choice that will be able to touch your budget line. Okay? So it could be that there is again, I'm failing to draw again. So this is a 15 line. So you choose a choice which touches this happiness line. The one which will touch, what do we call in algebra? Tangential? Tangent? If you have something like this, and then a line just touches there. Okay? Whatever you call it, The one which touches this, it touches Pambina. Okay? Are we together? So your budget constraint is the one which is now guiding you, which level of satisfaction you can attain. So you'll be able to say, okay, this is the best choice where you will be. Okay? Any question? Okay. I'm told I should do it again. Now, budget is about income, about money that you have. So, you look at your monies and say, and see what the market is offering. You've gone to the market, you want to buy something, you are pulling out from your pocket the monies you have, and you realize that this money I have, I can buy 15 oranges in this market. Or I can buy 15 mangoes. The choice is mine. And I will be equally happy going home with 15 mangoes or 15 oranges. Doesn't matter. There will be fruits on my table. That budget can only allow you to buy 15. Okay? Of course, you can buy less. Okay? But buying less doesn't maximize what your budget can allow. Remember, consumers want what? More than less. And two, consumers are what? Rational. It means they choose the best. If there's an option which is better, they will not leave it. They will grab it. That's what they will choose. Okay? Now, your budget can only allow 15 of mangoes or oranges. Doesn't matter. So your constraint is the budget. If you had more, maybe you could. Consumers want more than less, right? So if you had more money, maybe you could have been able to buy 20. But you are not allowed because you have a constraint. You know what a constraint is? The word constraint. What does it mean? It means you are restricted, right? Hey, you are prevented. So budget constraint in this consumer choice theory is about you being, your choices are being held back by this budget, this income that you have. Okay, so let's say 15 of whatever. So If we put it on the line here, again, I have that problem. I want to draw a straight line. Okay? I want to draw a straight line. Whoever can do it better than me, please come forward. Ngati mulindi rura. I want to draw a straight line. I have tried. Okay? So this could be mangoes. Or there could be oranges. So this is 15 or 15. That's what you can buy. Either you have 15 mangoes and 0 oranges, or you have 15 oranges and 0. Because when you are here, it means 15 oranges. But look, there is a 0 here, because you are not anywhere there. So you have 0 oranges, because you have chosen to be there. If you chose to be here, you see, you have 15. But this line here, if you have 15, it means you have not chosen anywhere here. But if you have 7 and a half or 7 whatever, if you are here, try to find your budget line. It means you can also have orange budget or mango budget. This combination, if you are here, you can as well buy this much oranges. Because when you are here, you are not touching this budget line. So you have to find it. And when you find it, you will find it there, and you go down to find the other alternative you have. But when you are here, you have already touched the budget line. You have finished your money. And when you are here, you have finished your money. But when you are anywhere inside here or anywhere inside here, you have to go and find the other half or the other part. Because when you are here, let's say this is 8 mangoes. 15 mangoes is there. 8 mangoes is here. 8 mangoes. But your budget says you can buy 7. So it means you can also as well find the other 7. I'm sorry, you can buy 15. So now you are at 8 here. You are remaining with 7. So when you go like that, there may be 7 in this one here. So 7 plus 8 is 15. Now, this one is a budget constraint. Now, you want to find the level of happiness that you are attaining. Utilities that you can attain. Remember, utility deals with indifference curves, which we drew like this. Remember? So it's the indifference curve that you will choose is the one which will touch this line, because then you can afford. Are we together? Indifference lines are drawn like this. The ones which are outer are the ones which have higher satisfaction. The outer you get, the more happier you are. The inner you get, the less happy you are. Now with this budget line, you must find the indifference curve which you can touch. So in this case, these are outside your budget line. This one is inside. It's an inferior choice. You cannot choose something which does not which you cannot choose something that gives you less happiness when you can afford something that can give you higher happiness. Human beings are rational. You cannot choose an inferior choice because this one inside here is an inferior choice. Why? Look here. If you are here, you may end up having 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6 is what? 11. It's not 15. And yet, your budget allows you 15. So it's an inferior choice. It's inside your budget line. Anything inside is below your budget. Anything outside is outside your budget. So the satisfaction levels that you obtain inside your budget should be maximized. Move towards a better level of happiness. I don't know whether that explanation is any better. Tell me. Now, the issue of preferences, we need to factor it in there. Now, we have said that buying any combination within your budget line is what you can afford, is what you can attain. Now, what makes people say, I want mangoes. I'll buy 12 mangoes and 3 oranges. Or I'll just buy mangoes, no oranges. They will still be within their budget line. The budget allows. The happiness is attained. They choose because of preferences, right? Consumer preferences. That's what they want. That's where your preferences and choices come in. But they come in based on budget line and then, of course, prices out there. So I want you to be able to have a mind that understands these things, to deal with budget constraint, preferences, prices out there, and the idea of always maximizing your happiness, maximizing your satisfaction. I think in some of the notes that I shared, there are all those things in there. You will find them. Just go and read. You will find them. Now, while we are on this, let us try to link this. This is about a consumer. how did I state what a consumer is? You remember? In the market. Okay? Consumers in the market are the ones which are represented by this demand curve. Producers and suppliers are represented by this supply curve. Now, consumers make choices. They make choices. They try to maximize their happiness. They try to maximize their utility. Now, there is a relationship between consumers and suppliers. Consumers are the ones who make choices. Now, under this theory of consumer choices, we also get to understand the concept of consumer sovereignty. Consumer sovereignty. What is sovereignty? What is sovereignty? Come on, you read in the newspapers, they will tell you, Malawi is a sovereign state. You are in control. Sovereignty is to be in control. Actually, it is funny sometimes when some people go out there and say Malawi is a sovereign state. I reserve my comment. To be in control of your own. Nobody can push you. Okay? To be in charge, to be in control. Independent. So the concept of consumer sovereignty. Can you Google? Sovereignty. The spelling. Consumer sovereignty. Only sovereignty. Spelling. I think it's SOVE. Imenena lembayo? Sovereignty. Yeah. So if you are making notes, put the right spelling. Provided you know what I'm talking about. Sovereignty. Now, consumer sovereignty is a discussion of the power of the consumer in the market. Remember, sovereignty means being in charge, in control. So the power of a consumer in the market, some people think that the consumer is the most important person in the market and controls the market. When I'm saying the market, I'm talking about this thing here. This thing I have drawn here. It's a market. So the concept of consumer sovereignty is about the consumer having the power. And the power of the consumer is through voting. The consumer votes. How does a consumer vote? The consumer votes at a till. When you go to to ShopRite or to any shop, when you buy, there are several types of soap, bathing soap. There is Lux, there is Protex, there is Beautex, Geisha. If you want the big ones, the small ones. So you find the area where they are selling bathing soap. It has so many types of bathing soap. So you are going for elections. You go there and pick one. Once they run that barcode, kitty, T, machine patch. T, that's a vote. T, vote. So by the end of the day, you will see which soap has won. Okay? By the end of that day, if you go to ShopRite or to any of those, it will show you which it will tell you which tablet has been voted the most. So your voting is through the purchasing. The consumer decides which soap is wanted. And that signal will immediately go to the shop owner to see which type of soap he should keep the most. Imeni kuyenda amatero, imeni kuyenda maronda. So they make sure they have that in stock. They will order more of that. When they are ordering more of that, they are giving signal to this guy. So now they start putting higher gear to producing that type of soap. The signals have come from the consumer through the voting. So the consumer will control what to be produced, when, where. So that is where the concept of consumer sovereignty comes in. The consumer has the power to drive the economy, to present signals of things that are needed and things that people don't really care. They don't even buy them. Okay? Now, that's a concept that is linked to consumer choices and consumer preferences, that there is consumer sovereignty in the market, that the consumer controls the market. Now, if that theory is true, is it always true? Can you criticize that? Does the consumer have such kind of powers as this concept of consumer sovereignty states? Does it? Maybe. There are problems. What problems can you list? One of it is advertising, product differentiation. Those who, some people here are doing marketing. Anybody doing program or marketing? Huh? Good. Yeah. You'll be learning about those things. I'm sure you have, maybe it's already started learning. Advertising can affect people's preferences. Sometimes you guys, you buy something, you choose something, not because really is what you want, but it's because it has been advertised repeatedly. And you start thinking that it is a good product. It is a better product. So your choices are not your human choice, but influenced by the advertising campaign. And sometimes it's psychological. It's not a real power that you have. You can be manipulated. So this thing that you as a consumer has got the power is not always true. That you can drive the market is not always true, because you can be manipulated into buying something. So you'll find some people like maybe using Protex because it says kills 99.999 germs, and you have no proof, but it says it kills, you know, and you start buying that product. And you know what happens when you start being addicted to a brand? It's sometimes so bad that some people, they live into area 25 and they like to use Imperial Leather. This is a type of a soap, you know it, Imperial Leather. They can't find it in Songi. Then they start going to town, looking at the shops in town. They are not there. It's not there. They try to go Kurikuni. It's not there. They try to go Kawali. Come on. This soap is a soap. I mean, it's just, why don't you just buy any soap? No? And then even ladies, since you are saying no, it's not, the soap is not a soap. The soap is different. The same thing happens mafuta. Muti mafuta asisi. You will say, you will believe kuta sisiranga ndi mafuta ande zimagwirizana. Yeah? Mood chemical. Huh? And you know what is happening? What is happening actually is this issue of branding. Because you believe this brand of chemicals is what you like. Okay? So what is happening? What is happening is that your power as a consumer is actually manipulated. So this thing about consumer sovereignty has limitations. You are sometimes manipulated. So you choose what the seller wants, what the manufacturer wants, because they will package it in such a way as to convince you that it is a superior product. So really you don't, this thing of power of your choice is not there. It's the manufacturer who is controlling you with his advertising campaign, changing your mindset to believing that this product is special. Okay? Sometimes government restrictions can also impinge on your sovereignty as a consumer. Because sometimes the government will say, this thing is bad, should not be produced. So you will be forced not to find it in the market. Even if you wanted it, it will not be there in the market. Availability of products is also a factor. I'm surprised a lot of people are not writing. Now, if you find a question like this, Mumayeso, can you discuss the limitations of consumer sovereignty? Give 5 examples. Muka karamene muja muri zero. And yet ababa nanena zintu zitatu. And nobody is writing. Later on, mata saraja amafusa ovuta. Amafusa oti sana tipozise. Come on. You were not just making notes. Okay? What other limitations can you think about when we are discussing this power of your choice as a consumer? Zina zimakara geographical location, where you are, which relates to availability of goods. Si ungate kuchipeza chintu china chake, so you buy what is available around you. So you go to the till, maybe to shop right, you wanted a particular type of drink, and it's not there. So you now go for the second best. Ningo guraish. But that was not your choice. That was not your intention. Because in your area, sometimes certain things are not there. Sometimes what is another restriction that you can get from consumer sovereignty? Seasons. Sometimes you really wanted to go to Shungi market to buy a fruit, but you wanted pineapples. That's what you wanted. Can you find pineapples now? They are difficult to find because maybe they are not in season. So sometimes for agricultural products, seasons can actually limit your choice of what product you wanted to have on your table. Muvuna timatijani maungu pitani kumtauni pakapena kujeni ngati mungapese. If you do find, maybe they may be very expensive because maungu panopa si nthawi yake ya. They may be off your budget line. They're so expensive. Asikan, I want to address you, Asikan. What else can you give me that limits your choices? Chaos, tell me. Sorry? Fashion. Not price, fashion. Sometimes you don't buy something because it's not in fashion. Even if you wanted it, you feel ashamed. You think it is, some people think, what you miss, or out of fashion. So trending, the trend, the fashion, that factor can actually inhibit your choices, even if you wanted something else. But because it's not in fashion, you start feeling you are holding back. People will laugh at me. But that's what you wanted. You as a consumer, you have the power to buy what you want. But you are thinking of what other people will say. Chinanchani. Sorry? Inflation. I'm just joking, eh? Huh? Inflation is price, eh? So price inenakade kuti ilipwa as one of the, but yeah. I think what you meant was mtengo, wait. If something is more expensive, you will not buy it. Maybe that could be, but not just as the term inflation is. What else? Culture and tradition will affect your choice. So if you really wanted to buy kamini skate, kachonchi, and you are in the village, those minis are there in the market. Kukaunjika kodi nthawi ya market day timati chani kwathu. I come from Karonga, timati tioneone saraura eya amati kusaraura, this place where there will be a market and there will be so many sellers ogulisa zambiribiri kuma nkumuzi, and usually these people travel from far. They know market days in various locations, so they will travel from town and go Kunambuma or go somewhere in the typical village. They will bring all sorts of things, even including to mamini, and you will be there looking and checking, and you like it, but because umakara kumuzikuja, there's no way you'll wear it. Because if you try, some elder ladies will say, "Varas chitenje you, si unavalibu," right? Yeah. So you are being restricted by the culture. You can't. It is your choice. You have the powers to buy what you like, what makes you happy. You can vote that those are the things that you like, but no. You are in a situation, you are in an area where the culture doesn't allow you. What did you say? Yeah, culture, beliefs is the same thing. And for example, this doesn't only affect the consumer, it also affects the producer, the supplier. So I just said that advertising is one of those which is which can limit your real choices. But even those who are advertising, they can be limited by culture and beliefs. So, for example, you are in an area which is predominantly Muslim. Okay? Tingonen as an example. When I don't care how you pray, I don't mind. Whether you are a Baha'i, whether you are Hindu, whether you are Muslim, Christian, doesn't matter. Tose tikarowa kumwamba. Because, yeah, going to God is not through whatever you believe, but tose tikarowa kumwamba. So I don't mind. So I'm giving an example because of what I know. So for example, you are in a place where it is predominantly Muslim. You cannot advertise, for example, your bra. Simunga bige chi ujeni chija chi muntu chija chimzimaye choti chi plastiki mati zichani zimene zija zija ama ziveka zija ama ika panja nkuchiveka inje. It's for advertising, right? Yeah, they will dress it up, okay? So what you are distracting me. What I was trying to say is simungaike chimuntu mwina choti chionesa mabere and aika chibra chija, because certain religions do not accept nakedness. Okay? You are supposed to cover. Nesimunga sie chintu chija chavara panti and you know certain religions will find it disgusting. Okay? So you cannot, if you are a producer, a seller, you have to be sensitive. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to be sensitive. You have to mind that some of your customers will not like what you are showing. Some of your customers will actually be deterred from buying it just because you have not advertised it properly. You have not taken into account people's beliefs. Wakarangati wao nyozera. And so it may backfire. That's what I was trying to say. Even though my example may be bad, which I gave, but that's what I'm trying to say. Okay? So even advertising, you have to look at people's beliefs and culture. Inuso zovara mumaona so kuti apa mimi ndidi potani. In certain places you have to be intelligent enough to say no, this I cannot do here. That's why siti karandima bikini kunyumba. Okay? You don't wear swimsuit kunyumba. Yeah, I know that some people will move around ku area 10 ari madress yoneka nga swimsuit. You know? But it's the beach yet. Ukapita kunyanja it. Kunyanja kuja is acceptable. Yeah? If you go to the beach kusalima, you will not be surprised to see people avara zao. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Nobody will question you. Yeah, it's okay. But you simunga pange pano kuti achifaya kuti ife we are university students tikoza kuvara amene tafunira. Yeah, please cover up. Mwavasikana. Cover up. Don't think kuti kuno kunyanja Kweli lero mpaforo Any question?